Okay, boxing fans, we're going to give our quick take on the Deontay Wilder versus Bermane Stiverne fight. As you may well know, Wilder beat Stiverne by points decision, which was not what everyone picked. It's a bit of a shock that he actually went to 12 rounds, really, considering everything we're going to talk about in this video. But I'm going to start with Paul now. Firstly, what did you make of Wilder's whole performance?
It was really good, to be honest. There's not many holes you can pick in it, because he showed a lot of stuff that he's not showed before. He showed he can go 12 rounds. He showed that he can box with his brain and not rush in like he has in the past. And he's shown that he can keep his head when an opponent's coming back at him. I expected him to just panic and fold when Stiverne started, letting the shots go. And whenever that did happen, Stiverne kept calm, he kept collected. He didn't lose focus, and he weathered the storm, and he just got on with it. I thought it was a very, very good performance from Wilder, and there's not many faults with it.
Yeah, I agree. What do you reckon, Rory? Was you impressed with Wilder?
I was impressed to an extent. I think with what Paul's done, he showed a lot of attributes that we've obviously not seen. I thought he was a better boxer than people probably gave him credit for, in the sense that obviously he's been to the Olympics and he had decent enough amateur pedigree, but I'm not going to go OTT about it. I still think there was weaknesses and chinks in his armour that would be really exploited by a much bigger heavyweight as well. So yes, it was good, but there's still a lot he can work on, I'd say.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I was impressed. I was impressed that he went the 12-round distance. He was able to keep throwing. He showed heart in there as well, because we'll come on to that in a second. He's shown that he can work on the back foot too, which I was impressed with, and everything about that kind of thing impressed me. The only thing I wasn't impressed with, well, I want to say I've still got questions about his chin, because he didn't really take a big shot in that fight, really. At one point in the 6th round, he was wobbled by Stiverne, who only threw like a few shots, and Stiverne was not on top of his game. But we'll move on. Paul, what did you think about Stiverne? It's come out afterwards that he was severely dehydrated going into that fight, and he's still in hospital now for this dehydration. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I hope he's alright. I hope it's not serious, but to be honest, you can't have any sympathy for him. It's his own fault. It's not like he's barely had any time to train for this fight. He's had months and months. Well, he only fights once a year. So it's not like he's hectic busy and doesn't find time to rest and train in between. And it's not like he's got a weight limit to make. Heavyweights, I've got all the room in the world to play with the weight sort of thing and find a weight that suits them and find a shape that suits them. So if he's messed up his training or messed up his weight, I'm sorry, it's his own fault. He's got no one to blame but himself.
That's right. I mean, we actually don't know right now the reason why he is in this situation where he's been severely dehydrated, because, well, like I said, he didn't have a weight to make. He didn't have to drain down. We can assume he wasn't sitting in the sauna for like 3 hours. I don't see why he was so dehydrated. The other thing is, I heard that his trainer said he didn't monitor his fluid intake, but saying that, he's a heavyweight, he should be able to drink as much water, or as much water as he wants, and if he puts on a bit of water weight, it doesn't matter. So, I'm not sure. What do you think, Rory, about this whole situation?
I think it was a very subpar performance from Stiverne. I think that's half the reason why I'm not giving Wilder as much credit as some people are. I just think there's so much more he could have done, and if it's because of dehydration, I'm the same with Paul. Obviously, until we know the full facts, we'd hate to think it was some sort of medical issue, but there's no excuse at heavyweight not being hydrated. Do you know what I mean? Because that affects so much of your body as well. And we looked at the fight. Even if he's throwing and missing, and don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want him to be careless and clumsy with a puncher like Wilder, but punch stats just showed he barely threw anything, and some of the times you saw him as if he was getting on top of Wilder and perhaps shook him in the 6th round. and then stopped. I'm all for being cautious, but if you steamroll through and start swinging away a bit in heavyweight boxing, he's certainly got power. So I just think, for whatever reason, that's just cost him the heavyweight championship in the world, the WBC, one of the biggest prizes in boxing. And like Paul said, it's only really, unless it's a medical condition or something untoward like that, then he's only really got himself to blame. And, props to Deontay Wilder, but I think he's beaten. That was not the best Bermane Stiverne that there has been.
Well, no, we can exactly clarify that was not the best Stiverne that is being available. But at the end of the day, it's, as far as we know, it's only down to Stiverne to blame for that. But it is what it is. We don't really know what much more to say about it because we don't know all the details of it. All we know is he was subpar. He didn't throw many punches, and even he looked slow to me. He looked really slow, like significantly slower than in the Ariola fight. Of hand speed, foot speed, the whole lot, and it's definitely, you can guarantee that it definitely had some kind of effect. But we'll move on. Wilder did suffer injuries himself. He suffered injuries punching Stiverne in the face. He cracked his hand or something. He's got a fracture on his hand. He's out now until the summer. But what was I going to say? Who do you think he's going to fight next, Paul?
Deontay Wilder, who's he going to fight?
Yeah.
There's who's in the WBC top 15. There's a big list of guys, isn't there? He's likely going to fight a cream puff. Let's be honest. Someone who's not expected to beat him. Someone he can make an easy defence against and make a bit of money.
Antonio
He's
Tarver?
not going to. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Someone who the Americans know. He's not going to fight some no-mark from Europe who American fans don't care about. It is a business at the end of the day. Antonio Tarver, Shannon Briggs, that wouldn't surprise me. Who's the other guy? I've got him in my head. Maybe Brian Jennings, because Brian Jennings, I'm sure, will probably fancy fighting Wilder, and he will Klitschko.
I think he's fighting Klitschko now. I think he's
it's confirmed.
Is it confirmed?
But he said pretty much everything's agreed. Bernd Bonter said everything agreed, bar the final dots and T's. But
until I see him and Wilder actually at a press conference together, then I'm not going to believe that's on. To be honest. So Wilder, he is not going to fight anyone we'd like to see him fight for at least a year. He's not going to fight Fury in 2015. He's not going to fight Klitschko in 2015. He's not going to fight any of the top 5 guys, because he's got to milk that belt for a bit. He's got to make some money. He's got to get the American fans interested in the heavyweight division again. And I understand that, to be honest. It's very unrealistic to expect whoever it is, Al Heyman, or whoever it is who controls his career now, it's completely unrealistic to expect them to put him in with the top guys in the division straight away. It's just not happening. We're going to have to see him on NBC. It will likely be as well, which is not a bad thing, because at least millions of Americans will get to see it. Even if it is poor fights, at least we'll get the Americans interested again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy whoever he fights. Rory, well, within reason, like. Rory, what do you think? Who do you think he's going to fight next?
Yeah, I'm looking through the rankings myself. You got the likes of Mike Perez as well. He can cross about 60% of them off if the European forget it. I'd love it to be Tyson Fury, but that's not going to be his first defence. They're going to milk that for as much as they can do. I guess with them having to wait now till the summer, as opposed to what could perhaps normally be, say, a fight in April time or something, then I would hope they would probably bring out a bigger name, just because it would have been relatively inactive since then. But I'm with Paul. I just don't see them doing that. They'll pander to the American market, go for someone like Brian Jennings, Mike Perez, that sort of, Tarver as well. I'll throw in Tony Thompson as well. I think he's just under the top 10. That's that sort of calibre. Someone who can just make Wilder look good, But I would like it to be Fury, but I just don't think it will be. Not for a while.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's going to be Antonio Tarver. I think then maybe Fury, and then we'll see. We'll definitely see. I don't think he'll fight Klitschko as quickly as he says he wants to, because I don't think he'll make the decisions. I think Al Heyman will, and he won't want to. He'll milk that title. But I mean, I don't want Wilder to face Klitschko just yet. I'm not ready for that. But I only see one winning that fight anyway, and he's not American. So yeah. Anything else you wanna talk about the fight, guys? Paul, you got anything you want to say about the fight?
I think Stiverne. I think that's probably his lot now. I don't think we'll see him fight again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. How old's he? He's 36, 37. He's not. Yeah, he's a lot older than Wilder. Yeah, he's definitely in his mid-30s. He's not at all active. He fights once a year. He's just lost the title. He's having these problems now. He's in hospital, whatever they are. I think he's just going to walk away. I don't think after that he'll have the hunger to build himself back up. I don't think Don King will have the interest in helping him build back up. I don't think Golden Boy or anyone in America would even be interested in signing him unless he was like the opponent for somebody. They're not going to.
That's what I see. Maybe him being an opponent.
Yeah, they're not going to. If he's not going to build himself back up and get another shot at the title, and I think he will probably realise that when he thinks about it, and he will probably just accept that his career. Unfortunately, he's just lost his chance for a big time career, and I really think Stiverne will not fight again. And even if he does, he'll just be coming out for a payday. He won't be building himself back up for any more title fights. No.
No, I mean, I saw a lot of people online calling for a Stiverne versus Chisora fight, but that's the most pointless fight I can think of in the heavyweight division. No, I can't, unless there was an absolute ton of money for him to come over here, which I don't think there would be. For Chisora, who's lost numerous times anyway, it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they drag him over for Fury in the summer to try and hype a fight up with Wilder, because Fury versus Wilder will happen. I just don't think it will happen this year, but it wouldn't surprise me if that happened. They brought him over for Fury to fight, or Fury went over there to fight him. What my gut feeling is he won't fight again.
Okay, well, that's the biggest fight in the division. On the undercard, just quickly, Leo Santa Cruz is on there, wasn't he? Just a quick mention for Leo Santa Cruz. He stated that he wanted to fight Rigondeaux, but only for $3 million. So in other words, that fight's not happening. So what do you guys think about that?
He looked shocking, didn't he? He didn't look great against.
No, he never. Yeah, I can remember that part. Yeah. I remember that fight.
I would honestly go as far as saying, and I hate to say it because I think he is actually an alright fighter, but I'd probably say he's of the guys that are being touted. I think he beats the likes of Quake, but I think Frampton would be a good fight. I think Frampton would probably beat him, but no one wants Rigondeaux. No, they'll price themselves out of the market. No, he doesn't want that fight. No one's paying $3 million for that fight. No one's paying Rigondeaux enough money anyway.
No, Rigondeaux had to go over to Japan just to get a paycheck. So I think if they get $3 million for that. But if you've got anything to say on that one, Paul.
About Santa Cruz, nah. His career's going nowhere. His stock has plummeted. There's next to no fans are interested in him anymore.
He's getting paid.
Look, I was about to say that. If he's getting paid a wedge. If he keeps getting paid, what is it, $750,000 for fighting nobodies? Then good luck. Then God bless. Good luck to him. I wish I could make money doing that, but I'm not going to be watching him, and I don't think anyone else is going to be watching him anymore, unless he fights a real, a champion or a real contender. And what have we seen in the past year to make us think that that's even going to happen?
Been man and a cab driver recently, so yeah.
Yeah, so if he wants to keep fighting the cab drivers, good luck to him. But I'm not watching it.
Yeah, especially for that kind of money as well. But thanks for listening, guys. Tell us what you thought about the main fights. Tell us what you think about Stiverne and Wilder and where they go from here. Thanks for listening.